Hello, I'm Jomika, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. This is my second attempt at recording. I hit my record button, but forgot to open my recording software. Luckily, I didn't get too far at all. Just recorded the intro and got to about here. But yeah, welcome back. And it looks like I would like to do this one. Position Satellite Mark 1 in an adjusted orbit of Kerbal. And yeah, I think that's all good, but let's check. Nothing too crazy. The name was start with a D. I think it was this one. I checked before. Dinkelstein Kermans Construction Emporium. So it looks like it's this satellite Mark 1. I named them both the same, but I don't think they're going to have us send this one all the way out here. So this one is Agency C7, Reaction Systems Limited. So yeah, it is going to be this orbit for sure, and most likely this satellite, which is going in the correct direction. The money is, it wasn't a lot. It was like 20,000 or so. So that leads me to believe that it is that orbit. So worst case, we lose $7,000. No big deal. So we will accept that one and go to the tracking station. Select this Mark 1. We will fly. Now that I think about it, I'm hoping that we have power. Okay, it looks like we're pointed in the right direction. We do have a connection, and we do have electric charge. So we're good there. 1 degree difference. And we're just going to probably go radially. But we should probably do it at one of these nodes. I guess we could do it here, just to see. And yeah, it is that direction. So a minor adjustment of 7 meters per second. I forgot that these satellites are huge, and there's no reaction control system. Really, there's a little bit, but so we are gonna open that up. Really, we just have to reach the new node. I accidentally hit shift, so we are headed in the right direction. And then once this little line goes away, is that even correct anymore? Well, we did adjust our orbit, so we can warp here. 7 hours. Let's make sure we're facing the sun. We do have a little bit. And we want to make sure we're going in the correct direction. Because the last thing I want is to have to deal with all that again. Conduct material study. We haven't done that yet. Okay, that may be why. All right, so you do have some sunlight. You have a full electric charge. We will just go to the map. We will warp to about there. And then we'll add a maneuver node. To point right there. So 10 meters per second, that'll put us in basically the correct orbit. It'd be nice if it could turn a little bit faster. Usually the satellites I make, I mean, it's a little bit harder in the beginning, but I make them a lot smaller. I mean, kind of how satellites are supposed to be. Smaller fuel tank, smaller engines, less weight, easier to turn, all that fun stuff. So we'll just go ahead and burn here. We don't really have to use this. I mean, how close do you need me to be? I guess we need a little bit more, what's it called? Need to put this out a little bit further. But I think we're good on the apoapsis. 28.9, 28.9. Yeah, so that one looks fine. Luckily we're way out here, so we have time to turn and do all of that stuff. And then once we're on the correct spot, we can just time warp to stop our rotation. How exact do you need it? 27.9? 27.9. Is it the wrong satellite? If we add a maneuver, I guess we'll try to bring the ascending node, or bring it on the correct plane. 18.8. Huh. So a very fine-tuned orbit is what you're looking for, I guess. I would have thought we would have been okay by now. It was there for a second. 0, 0. .95. I mean, that you can't get much closer. And we are headed in that direction. Huh. What do I need to do? You guys are right on top of each other. I guess we wait until one of the nodes. How far away is this? 2 days? All right. We'll go to the tracking station. Actually, let's go back. We'll rename this one. This will be Polar Orbit 1. Yeah, see, this one's much smaller. And yeah, that's Polar Orbit. It'll just be science. Configure vessel naming. Polar probe science only. Okay. Back to the tracking station. I decided not to name this one, just in case this is science. Be in command. Well, let's go back and command it. Maintain stability. So we just need to reach the orbit, which we can't get too much closer other than up and down. All right, so we'll set an alarm clock for 2 days, 15 hours. Is that how it works? Create an alarm. Link to vessel. 2 days, 15 hours. Time until. All right, add alarm. So I'm assuming that will go off at the correct time, and then we can do other things while we wait. That surprises me that we're so close. But I guess a couple 100,000 meters off isn't close enough. Position satellite in tundra orbit around Minmus. Science data from around the moon. So this one we could actually just send. We could send a probe to go around the moon. Yeah, I think I want to do that because what we can do is set up a relay satellite. Yep, he agrees. What is this? Rendezvous 2 vessels. Okay. We could also do this one. Thermometer. I mean, we've done that. We could have this be another relay satellite, but I think I'm liking a relay satellite around the moon. We'll do in polar orbit, so anywhere around the moon, we will most likely have a connection to Kerbal. So let's build it. We have 1,000 science we can spend. So before we build it, let's see what goodies we can unlock. I don't know if we're going to be able to have time, or I don't know if we're going to have enough time to launch this rocket in this episode. We'll take our time on it and make sure we get it right, because I've run into lots of issues in this series. I don't really care about precision propulsion or advanced fuel systems. I was thinking maybe the propulsion systems, just because it's small-ish. Miniaturization in here, but not really anything we need. We do need a relay antenna, which, do we have one in here? High gain, short relays. So we could use that one, but I don't think it's very strong at all. 20M. And what is the difference here? 2 Gs. So we'll probably unlock this. Anything in here? Is there another antenna somewhere? Probably not. Oh, no, those are panels. So we can unlock the cores, whatever they're called. Probodynes. What is that? 300? Oh yeah, we have lots of science still. I guess what we'll do, unlock this one. Survey scanner. Lots of options here. We're not going to the moon yet. We don't need that. I mean, we are going to the moon. We're just not landing or sending a human. The Spark. I know that one's a small one. It's pretty efficient. So maybe we'll start unlocking that. do like the mixture of the donut and the spark together. Makes for a nice small, like, satellite. We don't need scanning tech. What does this get? CurbNet access. I don't know what that is. SAS. Prograde, retrograde, radial, normal, attitude hold. Be nice to have. We don't need too much, though. We really need stability assist for this mission. We don't need any of that. Maybe we'll just hold on to this until we decide what our next mission is. I think that's what we'll do, because we got what we need for this satellite, except maybe that fuel tank. Let's see what we... What's the difference here? Requires 1.2, 1.5. So they're the same size. Stability assist. Prograde, retrograde. Well, I think I want that one. Fuel tank. Is this... This is really small, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe we'll go with the Oscar B. And then the Spark. 824. Is that enough? I mean, I guess it depends what we're doing. Right? And what are we doing? Well, that's a great question. Terrier's 0.5. So yeah, we definitely want that engine. Well, I guess let's put the science on. I did have... I don't know what I was going to say. We don't need the seismic accelerometer. Oh yeah, we should start with communication because this is the whole point. 15 Gs and 2 Gs. So we'll probably go... This is a direct satellite. This is a relay satellite. Okay, so probably go with that one. Um, 400. That cut our delta V in half. So we'll use this setup for like very short, like adjusting maneuvers. We want to really stick them out. 1/6. How many of these do we want? That many. Seems like overkill. But I think that'll be okay. Let's get a battery. Do we want 1 or 2 batteries? I don't know if it comes with the battery. How much does this hold? 200, that makes sense. I think 200 will be enough. So we got communications, we're okay there. We're not going to put a ton of science on here. I think in real life, when you have like a communication satellite, it's mainly just the communication satellite portion and not extra science things. but I could be totally wrong. So let's go with that. I think I want... Yeah, it doesn't add much. So we'll keep it like that. Let's get a decoupler. And then payload. Let's go with the bigger one. It's quite the shape. The other thing we could do is use the bigger ones. What kind of engines do we have for that? Any? Torch? No, torch is small. Yeah, I think it'd look kind of weird if we started huge at the top and then went down. Do we have any, like, splitters? No. Something like this. No, not like that. The opposite. Where it went from, like, big to small, but it had two engines. Like, two spots for an engine. But I'm not seeing anything like that. I don't even know if that's a real thing. Like this. But that's a 3. I have done something like this, where it's like that, and then you have 3 satellites kind of connected. Which, I mean, I think it's something we'll do in the future, but not right now. Yeah, we'll just do this. We'll keep it looking funky. Is 2 what we want? One thing I forgot. Vacuum, that doesn't change much. So 2,800. Yeah, I think if we just did a decoupler. Let's do that. Engines. What one? These may be overkill at this point. We could probably use a different engine. But I'm not really sure. Fuel lines. And then struts. And how are we looking? 1,000 plus 2,800. That's 3,000, 4,000. Yeah, we got plenty of delta V there. So we don't tip over. Let's get the winglets. Is it the basic fin? Yeah. There we go. That all looks good. No, it doesn't. Okay. I don't know if it was there before or not, but it's there now. Protective rocket nose cone. That's too big. Like that. I think that's good. We will call this Moon Relay. Sure. And then launch. And I think we'll just go for it. We got, it's 25 minutes in, 26, but that's okay. We got time. Launch those. And go for it. We'll go straight up, and I have to remember that this one is going to the moon. And we'll go ahead and start to tilt a little bit. A little bit top heavy. Now, how can we fix that? Bigger wings? Which way did we tilt? Yes, I see. We need wings on the side. Here. Let's save that. We'll try again. And hopefully this time we don't tip over. That first simulation run. We'll see. So far it feels stable. Last time also felt stable. This does not help anything. But I think we kind of tilted forward and over, so these wings should help with that. And yeah, we made it much further than before. And we tilted over too far. I was trying to do a little bit more of an aggressive burn. What's that? Well, let's see. How can we fix that? We could try to redo this. The fairing. Fairing expansion. Delete fairing. Build fairing. Maybe we start like here. A little bit shorter and stubbier. Let's try that. A lot of trial and error on this part. Alright, so we'll throttle all the way up, turn on that SAS, and fire. Looks funny like that. Yeah, ideally we'd want this straight down all the way, but we don't have engines for the tanks yet. I guess one thing we could do is throttle down a little bit. Don't turn over quite as hard. Maybe we will do that. Because we don't need to get... just want to get a nice circular orbit. Around 80 kilometers or so. Almost lost it there. We're at 17. Alright, we're doing okay. Atmosphere is getting a little bit thinner. So we should be in the clear now. Yeah, see, that's... let's get rid of that. And then do we... I guess we can wait. That's why I kind of wanted more aggressive, like, turn. But that's okay. One thing I didn't put is reaction wheels, but it seemed to turn easy enough. So the next stage is the fairing, which we can just about get rid of. I mean, we could now, but we'll do it now. Let's extend all the solar panels. Plenty of charge. I think I missed that one. There we go. And yeah, that's still going up. So we'll keep it around there. A little wobbly, it looks like. But yeah, if we're like at 100K, then we're looking good. Where's the moon at in relation to us? Here? So that could work out if we do like right at 70K on the other side. We can get a little slingshot effect. And then, yeah, we have 400 delta V remaining on the other side, other stage, remaining stage. So we should be okay. Yeah, we got plenty. 2,400-ish. All right, there we go. We're in orbit. Set target. 1 degree off. Not the end of the world. So right about here, we can add a maneuver. Actually, let's focus our view. Just to see where we come in, because we're going to do a polar orbit. I don't think it matters what side we come in on. Oops. Something like that. Actually, yeah, we don't want it close either. All right, well, we'll just do prograde. We'll just get that to about 0. We'll point prograde, and then we'll wait the 15 minutes just to make sure we get everything how we need it. So we'll let that go. We'll do a little time warp to get over here. And then we can go from there. So yeah, we'll time warp to about there. 22-second burn. No big deal. Yeah, 830. That's not even half of what we have, so plenty of delta V. We have a minute until our burn. So if we wanted, we wait until about 11 seconds to get the most efficient burn. But that never works out as being the most efficient. I always thought that you could hit this and it would do the burn for you. But that may be like MechJeb or something that does it. We can quick save here. Not that I anticipate anything going wrong, but you never know when the Kraken is going to strike. So yeah, we'll just burn here. We can, I guess, just get rid of that. And then somewhere along the way, we want to adjust our ascending and descending node. So if we do it here, yeah, that's 300. I guess we could just do it, because we do have the fuel for it. And then that'll put us underneath the bottom. But that doesn't really matter, because over time, like half the time we won't really have a signal, probably less than half the time we won't have a signal because the moon will be blocking. But when we're like certain parts of the year, we'll have a signal all times a day. So let's somewhere around here. Oop. We need to point prograde again. Are we out of fuel or something? What's going on? Oh, there we go. So yeah, right about there. We'll be as far out as we can. And then we can add a maneuver to circularize. And it'll just go around. So that'll be good. We should have plenty of sunlight. I mean, we don't have any sunlight right now, but we should always be getting some charge when the sun is out. And I don't think we really need to worry about anything else. Just going to try to run temperature scan. Yeah, nothing there. So we will warp here. And we're waiting on this one. Yeah, we still got 2 days, so lots of time before we have to do anything with that. And then we should warp to about there. We are in the sphere of influence of the moon. We'll point retrograde. We'll slash that. And then we can adjust our orbit. So we're going around the moon. And I will stay on the map view just so I can see when we're in orbit and not moving. So it shouldn't take much delta V at all. Three minutes away. Yeah, I don't know what the speed is for the moon, but this is going to start to wrap around. Interesting. Lots of encounters. There we go. That's about as big of an orbit as you can get. 1.2, so 2 million on each side. That's, yeah, we'll hardly ever lose signal from the moon now. So if we have a spacecraft or a rover or something on this side of the moon, we can relay out to this one. You may not be able to see it, but most of the time there will be a signal. Actually, I take it back. May not be most of the time, but more times than before, we will have a signal to the moon. So I think that is going to do it for today's episode. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And we got a world's first milestone. That's the first time we entered the orbit of the moon. I did not know that. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Thank you all for joining me, and I hope to see you all in the next episode.